All right, let's have a look at the map here in just a second. But first I want to explain a couple things about today's hike and about my philosophy about hiking in general. You know, sometimes I use the words hiking and climbing interchangeably because to me they're the same thing, which is really just moving through space with the intention of ascending a mountain peak. Now this is a hike I've done before in the summertime, which is not terribly challenging for me at least, but one thing you can do is you can come back to those hikes that you've done in the summertime and you'll find that in the winter you have a whole new set of obstacles and challenges. So for example, one thing is you only have a fraction of the daylight you do in the summertime, so time pressure is going to increase. And then you also have the snow, which can present its own challenges. But the main point I want to get across is that like anyone can do this. All you're really doing is moving through space with your body. And you know, sometimes it can get easy to get caught up in what gear you need. And you know, for this hike, for example, I brought an ice axe and crampons, and I didn't actually really need them because the peak was covered in cotton candy powder snow, so my points wouldn't bite. And you'll see more of that in the video, so you can see what I'm talking about. But really, hiking is about harnessing the power of outdoor spaces, the healing power of outdoor spaces. And I truly believe that all the answers are in nature. They're already there in front of our eyes, and we can use those to our advantage and not get caught up in consumerism and technology and you know all the other clutter in the world that we have that we live in today. I believe that coming to these spaces is a truly sacred experience, and it's an opportunity for you to temporarily check your identity at the door and become someone totally different for a period of time, the period of time that I call the zone. I've heard some people call this state of mind the flow state. Whatever it is, it's about experiencing the natural world without barriers or interference, and immersing yourself in that state of mind and challenging yourself in your own way. Whatever is hard for you. It may not be hard for me, it may not be hard for someone else, but it's a personal experience, right? It's about doing something productive with your time instead of wasting it joining body positivity movements and whining. Because the ears of nature are deaf, and nature is totally indifferent to your suffering. But it's a comforting indifference, if that makes sense. So anyway, let's talk about the route, okay? So this is in Sequoia National Park, and it's a fairly simple day hike. You start out in Wolverton, which is right here, and this parking lot is accessible in the wintertime, although the Park Service recommends that you carry chains in your car in case the weather turns, but this is a very popular parking lot, and it's pretty easy to get to even in the wintertime. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this Lakes Trail here, and it's a pretty easy trail to follow, although there is a turnoff here to go to the Pear Lake area, which has a hut, I guess, that I've never been to, but you can apparently you can camp there in the wintertime, but right now because of COVID it's closed, which is a bummer. But anyway, you continue along through this way up to Panther Gap here. Panther Gap is basically the saddle between Alta Peak and Panther Peak, and then you're going to move this way along this trail and then do a bit of a off-trail hiking up to Panther Peak, and you get a nice view from Panther Peak of this whole area down here, this whole canyon, and some of the higher peaks down in the south and to the east, and a pretty cool summit block, I think. So yeah, it's a class 2/class 3 with a little bit of off trail and a little bit of rock hopping towards the top. But again, I really do think that anybody with a little bit of perseverance can do this hike. And if you live in California, or if you're visiting even, this is a hike that I highly recommend because it is quite a bit of payoff for not the longest hike in the world. It's actually pretty short. So without further ado, let's take a look at the hike. Good morning, it is January 1st, 2021, and today I'm in Wolverton, California, in Sequoia National Park, getting ready to head up to the summit of Panther Peak on the Lakes Trail. Alright, so I'm about 1.8 miles from the trailhead, and I just got to this little sign here. Turning left takes you to Pear Lake, and that's actually where the winter hut is at, which I wanted to go camping at, but I heard it's closed because of COVID. So I'm just going to go do the day hike today up to Panther Peak, which is this way. Alright, so I made it to this ridge crest here, near the turning point to go to Alta Peak, which is that way. And I'm actually going to go this way, which is towards Panther Peak. And Panther Peak is actually kind of up in like a rock formation behind these trees over here, about a mile or so. And so what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to take the trail here on the right and kind of follow this for about, I don't know, maybe half the distance, and then somewhere along the way I'm gonna kind of work my way up this way off trail and see how the snow is. Just a really calm and peaceful summit.